So special music.
All right, okay, let's go.
Hell yeah. The music isn't that special. It's pretty much the same as always. But welcome to a brand new podcast here with the English versions of Jay Samuelz and
Arya Lee.
Yeah, this is very weird.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I think we need to explain the situation.
All right, you want to explain it?
All right, okay, so we're two guys.
Two guys.
It's just two guys from Germany having a actually German podcast. And by huge demand, we're trying out to do an English one.
Yep.
But yeah, we don't know how to call it because the title is very specific. It is. So maybe you can explain about the title issue.
Yeah. The podcast is called Der eigentlich ganz gute Podcast,
which is really confusing.
Yeah, it's
we're not German people.
It's the actually kind of good podcast is what it's called.
The actually kind of
the pretty good kind of
is eigentlich actually.
It's
kind of, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so weird. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, okay, the reason we're doing this is because as like kind of a joke, half joke, we said, hey, if you want, we can do a podcast in English. And like a bunch of you, like really like a lot of people commented that they want us to do an English podcast. But it's really weird because we never, like, I speak English and you speak English, but I natively speak English, but we don't really talk in English that much.
Like we use a lot of English words.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think this is like the longest conversation we've had where it's like one-on-one.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of people to talk English to, except for my family, but I don't really see them that much at the moment. So my English is rusty as hell too. So like...
Rusty as hell.
Rusty as hell. I don't know. For me, it's like I always need like a week or two to adjust to the non-English speaking time that I have. And then afterwards, I'm pretty good. Like when I would move back and forth between Germany and the States, I remember the first 1 to 2 weeks was like, damn, I'm fucking up bad time. And then after a while, I was like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. And then
it's a German guy.
It's the German guy. I can speak like this as well if you want me to.
That's what they called you?
No, most people didn't know I was German for the longest time, like, which is cool because apparently I don't have that much of an accent. I probably have a little bit of an accent. I'm assuming. I think
you always assume, but nobody ever.
Yeah, I think like if you live in a country for like 10 years, you're bound to have like a tainted, like a tad of just something in there. Yeah, so there's probably some German swimming around in that pool of English somewhere. Yeah. But it's never, at least it's not noticeable for most people. Like most people never even realize that I'm from anywhere else. Yeah, same in German unless I use my like English words, which I frequently use. So, but yeah, again, this is super weird.
Yeah, it's super weird and it's super hot in here. So both 2 reasons to sweat.
2 reasons to sweat. That should be the podcast.
Yeah, 2 reasons to sweat. Hosted by Jay and Arya. Yeah, so for those guys who don't know us at all, I don't know if there's even anyone. Maybe there's just German audience.
Probably.
And we're talking in English and explaining stuff to people what they already know.
Yeah.
Which might be even more weird. But yeah, so we both are Jay and Arya. We're two guys, also 2 best friends.
We're 2 guys, and then also we're 2 best friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
But are we 2 best friends, or are we 1 best friend because there's one friend relationship?
We're definitely not 1 best friend.
All right. Okay. We also have a YouTube channel, another one. Like not the podcast YouTube channel, but a channel where we have a show about movies and stuff, I guess, where we explain like movie theories, mistakes, weird things about movies and other stuff. And also We both are filmmakers, and we make our own short films, which is also our one of our greatest passions, because we'd like to produce and direct and act in Hollywood movies, I guess, Netflix, maybe Amazon.
Maybe. The Amazon guy was like, damn it. Why you gotta sneak this?
Also, Jay does really good rap music.
Oh, thank you.
Got a rap crew called Freakazoids.
Yeah, our music is in English, so
Yeah.
I'm used to making English content in that sense, I guess, but it's still really weird to
So are our short films, just to say.
Right, our short films are in English as well.
Yeah.
So
most of them. So if you'd like to check out what we do else, you can have a sneak peek in some short films and some of Jay's music.
We'll link some stuff below, maybe if we don't forget, because we've forgotten. I remember. I think last episode or the episode before, we said something like, check that out, and then everyone was like, where's the link? I completely forgot that we even said anything. I'm sorry, guys. What I always think is really interesting is that a lot of people, especially in Germany, are always very critical of English speaking content from Germany. Which is because we've spoken about making English content for a while, because we're both like, I don't know, we consume most of our media in English, and it's kind of the direction we want to go into anyways. And I feel like the only reason that we haven't really delved into it that much is people say that it doesn't work, or it from Germany. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know why, because that's a thing. Because
Germans are like very critical of English content. Like even when it comes to like my music, for example.
Short story in between. The funny thing is, this is so like present that even people who didn't know that Jay is actually a native speaking American. Like they were speaking about his music that like, I don't think his music gonna work out, because I mean, he's not a native American, and that's just not gonna work out, because like you can't clearly hear the accent. He's not an American.
That's
true. And I was like, you don't know how wrong that is, what you're just saying.
That's true. And it was funny because when I said, no, I actually am native speaking, a native speaker, and then they're like, oh yeah, now you mention it, you're right. And it was always really weird. But I don't know, that's like just a thing. I think like a few YouTubers tried it. Some successfully. I know Naomi John does it. She does pretty cool videos. But otherwise, I can't really think of anyone from Germany who successfully makes like English speaking content. Do you know what I mean? Do you know anyone?
No, actually not.
I know.
I don't even know people doing English speaking music
in Germany.
In Germany,
I know. There's a guy called Kelvin Colt, who's really good. He's a rapper.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I also know Sirius Klein.
He's also really good.
Also
shout out.
Really good. Yeah,
if they're listening to the podcast, what up?
Cook and bake it.
No, but those guys are really good. But even then, it's like you really have to think hard. It's like 2 or 3 people.
Like, out of 80 million.
Actually, you know what? I think there are some German creators, like YouTube creators, but because they make English content, they're like not even in the realm.
That might be. I don't know.
Because
it might be.
I know that the I forget his name. The guy who's Amanda Cerny.
Yeah.
I think her boyfriend
is German. But okay, are we talking about German people making English content in Germany, or German people making English content just out of Germany?
I think just in general. For like a short period of time, Simon Desu was making English content on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah. Not on YouTube, but on Facebook.
And it was he just stopped for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
he had like, I think it was like going really, really good.
Yeah, man. And it was like his Facebook page was like at 6 million followers.
Yeah, and then he just stopped. I think.
Why?
I don't know. Simon.
Why?
Kind of a challenge, but I'm up for it. I mean,
yeah. So. You're up for?
I am. Didn't have anything to say. It was just. So yeah,
2 guys. If they like the actually kind of good podcast in English, maybe we could flip the game.
Maybe we can. Then give this one a thumbs up. Unless you're listening to it on Spotify, then just smile really hard.
Yeah, just smile really hard, or let us know on Instagram.
Right.
It's at Jay Samuelz and at Arya__Lee, which is even more difficult to say in English than in German, because my Instagram handle is really fucked up. I know. That was the only one I could get. I'm thinking about turning into the real Arya Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Should I go for it?
Well, you should definitely save it now.
Right now,
because someone's gonna be like, well, that's mine now. Do you think that if you're from, because I don't know, to be honest, if you're from a different country that's not Germany,
okay,
or just a different country in general, and you like say an English speaking country.
Wait a second, are you asking me or the audience?
I'm asking the audience, but they obviously can't answer, so I'm kind of asking you what you think. Like, would you listen to like content creator? I mean, yeah, at the end I kind of just answered my own question. No, because what I wanted to ask was,
did you already ask?
No, I just did full circle in my head.
All right, okay.
No, what I was gonna ask was, would you mind if the person's from a different country, if they speak English?
Like, if you have an accent, maybe it might be a bit disturbing. I don't know.
I don't think
the peace.
Like, I think people, especially in Germany, again, give the whole accent thing too much weight.
Yeah.
Because within the English speaking realm, there are so many different accents to begin with, and like dialects. Like, even my accent isn't the true one. It's I mean, I don't speak.
It's an accent.
I don't speak British, which is the OG.
The
English.
OG of English.
And then there are people in India, and there are people in I don't know, Canada and anywhere, Australia, and it's all different, right?
Yeah.
So every time, I think people, especially in Germany, are just really sensitive about the German accent. They really don't like their own accent.
Yeah.
They're always like with my music, they're like, well, at least you don't have a German accent, because that would ruin it. And I'm always like, I get that, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because like, why would that change? I mean, yeah, it sounds,
maybe it doesn't sound hip hop anymore if it sounds like too German.
But I think if like French people, for example, who are,
but do the French people do music like this?
Probably.
But hip hop?
Oui.
Oui. All right, okay. We almost did a German podcast with an English accent. Turned out doing it in English.
Just an English one?
Yeah.
With a German accent.
Maybe with a German accent, yeah, right. So this is the actual...
This is the actual podcast?
Kind of good podcast?
Podcast.
Right.
I think when I do this one, I always tend to do the German accent that Americans think the Germans have.
Yeah.
Because I can't do the real one. I can only do the... That's not how Germans really talk.
Always when we speak with the German accent, I have to think about the guy from the Modern Family who played the Nazi in the sketch of Key and Peele.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot his name.
I don't know.
I don't know
either.
I can look him up. But,
but it's you don't want to listen to my great Hitler story? But I really love his German accent. He was so hilarious.
It is funny. It was funny.
So cool.
It's like a cliche accent that doesn't really exist. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain. But wait, what does the real German accent sound like? It's like
I think it depends on how hard it is.
True, but like the real hard one is like, hello. That's already wrong. Hello, my name is David, and I am 24 years old, and I
think it would be 20. Like, they don't say why.
True.
They say why.
Damn, I can't. Yeah, whatever. Any new music lately?
Lately, I mean, there's a few artists I like to listen to a lot. and it's basically those guys. I started like listening a bit more to Jaden's music.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah, Jaden Smith. Is there any other Jason?
There are plenty of other Jasons.
Yeah. Jaden's.
Jason Smith. Wouldn't that be weird if you met him and you were like, "What's up, Jason?" Like just completely mess up his name.
The few artists I like to listen the most is Kendrick, J.I.D., J. Cole. Lately, I love listening to Joyner, Logic, and I think that's the main squad.
It's the main squad. So a lot of rap.
Oh, Eminem, not to forget, one of my favorites.
Okay.
Maybe my favorite.
So because you've been listening, like throughout our friendship, you've been listening to different kinds of music. You used to listen to a lot of dancehall.
Yeah.
You don't at the moment?
No, back in the days when I used to dance hall. Do you say that? Dance hall?
Well, I used to dance hall.
I used to dance hall.
I don't think you say that.
So back then, I used to listen to a lot of dancehall music, but then like it all started with hip hop, like in rap, Tupac and stuff, and then when I started dancehalling,
yeah,
and then I listened a lot to dancehall music, and then I went back to a lot of rap again, and that's the current situation. Yeah, what do you listen to?
It's weird. I haven't been listening to a lot of music lately. Like, I think because my Spotify account ran out and I didn't update it.
Well, you have YouTube Premium, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm one of the few people. Like, from the 5 people that have YouTube Premium, I'm one of them.
I also do have it, but I don't know why, because I never signed up for it.
Okay.
I also don't pay for it. I just have it.
Okay. Don't say that on the podcast.
Yeah.
They'll be
that was really stupid.
They'll be like, what? We're such idiots. No, Tyler the Creator released an album which I thought was really interesting. Like very recently. He does like a lot of singing on it and stuff. He's usually more of a rap guy. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, but I listen to a lot of rap mostly. There's this new guy. He's called Dominic Fike, and he's like very
Dominic Fike.
Yeah,
never heard of him.
He's first of all, he's way younger than we are, which always makes me mad. Because every time someone's really good at something and he's like younger, I'm like, damn it! What am I doing?
Oh, way too old.
He's really good. He's like a really good singer, but he's also he just raps really well.
Do you listen to Crystalia?
Only on occasion. Only on one song. Now. Is he a rapper now?
Since he's using way too many napkins, I guess.
I watched his stand-up recently. I thought it was
which one? His Netflix special? Or?
Yeah, I think it wasn't the newest one though. I watched one of the Netflix specials.
Man on Fire or the other one?
Yeah, it was Man on Fire.
I watched it yesterday.
It was
or not the day.
It was pretty funny.
Again,
he's definitely a really funny guy.
Yeah. You're not Denzel.
You're not. He's right though.
You're the extra in the background.
There's a comedian. His name is Crystalia. He has a stand-up special called Man on Fire. Man on Fire is a movie starring Denzel Washington, and in the special, he basically says that everyone thinks that they're the main character in their life, but it's not true. Like, you're just an extra because usually you're not as badass as you think and you're not as cool. I thought that was like a really interesting thing because I think everyone kind of sees themselves as the main person, you know what I mean? Like when you think about
I think that is legit because it's their story, because it's their life, so they are the main character because they are following themselves on their story. Right, making them to the main character.
But in that case,
which doesn't mean it's a good movie. Yeah, it just might be a bad movie. It just might be a boring movie and suck.
Exactly. It probably isn't that entertaining as you think. It's just kind of like.
But then they have really good extras. Right. Like Will Smith is an extra in their life.
Mm-hmm. He's an
A
extra
really
in our
expensive
life.
one.
There's this one other dude.
Dominic Fike. Maybe it's David Fike.
No, it's not.
You sure though? Have you Googled it?
I think his name is Oliver Tree. Yeah, Oliver Tree. It's this really weird guy. He looks like this. He has
Yeah.
He has a bowl cut and stuff.
Yeah, that is really weird.
I'm really getting into like freaky kind of stuff. Not freaky, but like it's just stuff that isn't that normal, because I feel like everyone's kind of the same nowadays. And so every time someone's not doing what everyone else is doing, I just think that's more interesting. Like, I don't even necessarily think his music is, I mean, it's good, but it's not like the best music I've ever heard. It's just
Freaky.
it's just freaky, and I like freaky. I listen to my own music the most at the moment, but because I'm listening to like the demos and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah. Which is I already had the pleasure to listen to some of it.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
And it's actually kind of good.
Thanks.
Like it's gonna be lit as fuck.
Thanks.
It's gonna be actually very lit as fuck.
We'll see. I'm not that content with it yet, but we'll see.
Yeah,
never content with it.
You're never content. But it's gonna be great. You can check out No Lie. Just type in Jay Samuelz No Lie, and then you know how YouTube works. Just click on it.
You know how that shit works. Why am I explaining this? What do you think of like YouTube rappers in general?
That's the thing. I don't think there's such thing as YouTube rappers,
and yet we have that word.
Yeah, which is really a huge pity, I think, because it's like downgrading musicians to YouTube, which is supposed to be negative.
Yeah,
I guess I think
it's
used to downgrade people. Like, oh yeah, you're not an actual rapper. You're just a YouTube rapper. But for you to be a rapper, you're kind of good.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's always negative? Because I mean, they are rapping on YouTube, so like, I mean, but yeah, then you probably wouldn't call Drake a YouTube rapper, even though he has his music on YouTube.
Yeah,
right?
it's I don't get it, because like people do stuff on YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and then just because they like start doing different stuff, they're not like, you're like, if you started being a doctor, you're not a YouTube doctor.
Yeah,
you're just a doctor and you have a YouTube channel. You're not a YouTube. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but like for a YouTube doctor, you're pretty good.
Yeah. and like, I think it all started when people used making music as an commercial thing.
Yeah,
because they found out, oh, okay, you can make some moolah with the music.
You mean like specifically on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can make some music, and then you can sell it on iTunes, and then you can make some music merch. I really can't remember other YouTube creators like speaking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, some of them told me, like, oh man, you should do some music.
You should make music and then sell that.
It was like an explosion here in Germany. I can't remember what happened that time, like
in the US.
In the US,
yeah, it was the same
scene.
Yeah,
but it was like everybody starting doing music, and so obviously a lot of them weren't musicians.
The whole YouTube thing, because you know how like creatives are usually creative in like different things. Like, usually someone who's creative isn't just doing one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that thing that you get famous with defines you. And then from that point, it's like really hard to introduce new stuff.
Yeah.
And what makes it especially hard, I think, for others as well, because I guess I was lucky in the sense that I was making rap beforehand, so I was further than other people maybe. But like someone, like even in Germany, when a YouTuber who, like Upper Red, for example, when he dropped his stuff, he's a German YouTuber, by the way. When he dropped his stuff, I guess he wasn't, he hadn't made a lot of music beforehand. But the thing is, when you're not famous, you can release music and then get feedback and get better. And then that's how you become...
Like nobody recognizes.
Yeah.
Or just a few people.
And it's not as harsh either. It's more like you can grow with your fan base. But with if you're already in the spotlight, like you can't practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you got to put something out. It's got to be good from the get-go, and if it's not, then everyone's gonna shit on you.
I mean, you won't make an album and just show to friends and then say, okay, let's produce
exactly
the next one.
That's the other thing. Yeah, like they can't just make the. I mean, they could, but that would be a waste as well
of time, money, effort.
So what usually happens is they just make the music, put it out, and then everyone shits on them, and then they got to do it again. Not literally, I hope, but just And I feel like that's a big problem. So that's probably another reason why YouTube rap isn't as of high quality as it could be, because most YouTube rappers are people that are just starting out.
Yeah. I don't know what's the difference, because sometimes it works out really well and sometimes it doesn't. Like, for example, a good example is one of our good friends from New York City, Blakari Dancer.
Yeah.
Go and check out his Insta on
in the description.
Yeah. I was saying check out his Insta on Instagram.
That too.
His account on Instagram, it's called Blakari Dancer. It's in the description. So he's like one of the, like, in my eyes, he's one of the best dancehall dancers in the world.
Yeah.
He's really great, and like, I don't know when exactly. I think a few months ago, or maybe a year, he just like started making music.
Mm-hmm.
And like, nobody hated on him. I don't know what is the difference, because it was his first song.
I think it was just because it was good.
Yeah,
because the song is pretty good.
Yeah, and
so like,
he has 2 songs so far.
Yeah,
and like the first one was his like really very first experience with music.
That's probably it. At the end of the day, if your music is good, like, people can still say you're a YouTube whatever or a dance whatever, but at the end of the day, if it's a good song and people want to listen to it, then like, it's kind of just like, yeah.
So my message is, let people do what they love to do, and if you like it, just listen to it or watch it, and if you don't, then just don't and leave them alone. I mean, I don't really get the thing about like hating and disliking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy. If I watch a video, on YouTube,
you don't like it, then
and I don't like it, and then I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
That's it.
100%.
That's it. I don't see the motivation why you should like, all right, okay, this one is getting the dislike and the bad I mean, like, if it's hurting other people, then maybe, okay, you should dislike it to support, or to not support, or to support like the prevention of like hating other people and stuff. But
I mean, I do understand the whole dislike thing, and like, because it's just feedback. Like, if your content really does suck, like, if I were to make stuff that would suck, like, I would want to know that it sucks. Like, I wouldn't want everyone that doesn't like it to just shut up, and then everyone who does like it would just tell me it's good. You know what I mean? Because then you'll never get better.
True. That is true.
But I mean, I think there are like certain limits. Like, people will go out of their way, like, real far to make your life miserable if you did something.
They're really motivated.
Yeah, and that's too much. Then it's like, what are you doing? Why? Go, like, read a book, man.
Dicks.
No, that
is what he was trying to say.
That was absolutely not what I was gonna say.
So, is there any English-speaking people within the audience? Do you want us to make more English-speaking podcasts, which are actually kind of good? They
probably do. If the English-speaking people are like, no, make more German, please. Make more German stuff, because I don't want to.
Maybe they're just here by accident.
Oh, okay.
Like, damn it, it's the actual kind of good podcast. What do I do now?
Right.
Like, my keyboard is broken. I have to watch it. Like, the one time you had to do something on my computer, not using the mouse.
Yeah,
and then
that was weird.
Keyboard mouse.
Have you ever tried, guys? Have you ever tried to use a computer without a keyboard? No, without a mouse.
Yeah, that is more.
That's more difficult.
Yeah,
because Arya took his mouth.
I took my mouth.
He took his mouse with him. Because it was, I think you used it for your laptop, and I was at your place and I was trying to use your computer to send you something, and Yeah, there was no mouse. How do you navigate? So I ended up like punching in this weird combination, and then I had like a mouse that you could control with the arrow keys.
Yeah.
And it was so slow. Yeah. I was like, it took forever to get from one side to the other, because I was just like, come on.
I was like, okay, so it's in the upper right corner. Okay, so select it. All right, wait a second. And I was like,
just moving.
Okay, I think like in 40 seconds, I'm going to be there.
If you want to have your computer hacker proof, you just take the mouse with you. What are they going to do?
But wait a second, hacker proof?
Yeah, like someone...
Do they hack by using
the mouse?
your mouse?
Don't you think... What, hackers just don't use the mouse?
Not your mouse. They use their mouse.
No, but...
They don't...
No, I'm talking about... Yeah, okay. I'm talking about like people who come to your house and try to use stuff.
I think that's not how hackers work.
That doesn't exist at all?
Okay, let's break into his house.
If like... Okay.
Then just get into...
Maybe hackers was a bit too broad. What I meant was like if your brother wants to get in your computer. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know.
All right. So at the end, maybe we could say that if you like the English version of our podcast, which is the only version you know if you're English speaking.
Yeah. No.
Right?
If you're,
do you think they watched the German podcast and then they just didn't understand? But
I'd say most people here know the German and the English podcast. Because what, you think the German people are just not going to listen to this one?
No. But I'm specifically talking to those guys who
don't speak any German.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you like us, or maybe to everyone, if you like us to make more English speaking content, maybe you could show it to your English speaking friends.
That's a weird thing to do.
Why?
If you want us to make more, show it to your friends. No, okay, that's actually normal.
That's pretty normal. No, it's just because like it maybe makes more sense if we have more English speaking audience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Doesn't it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, if you like the podcast in English and want more, first of all, write it in the comments. Second of all, give this a like. Third of all, subscribe to the channel.
Check us out on Instagram at Arya not Arya. It's at Arya__Lee and at Jay Samuelz with a Z at the end.
Otherwise, that's going to be very confusing. Wow. Peace out, guys.